When you think of police officers, you should feel a sense of security. You should see an officer's uniform and feel overwhelmingly safe rather than scared. Unfortunately, a prominent issue in society today is the threat of police brutality. American citizens no longer feel protected by our police forces, and this is a problem. Police are demonstrating abuse of power, the act of using one's authority in an abusive way, such as aggression or manipulation. Their actions violate the Fourth Amendment rights that every American citizen is guaranteed. In a nutshell, the Fourth Amendment has to do with searches and seizures. Police by law cannot search your house or even arrest you without probable cause, which in this day is the equivalent of being issued a search warrant. The following are just 4 examples of the hundreds of recent events involving police brutality and officers violating citizens' Fourth Amendment rights. The case of Eric Garner was a very popular news story around this time last year. Eric Garner was a 40-year-old male living in the Bronx, New York, believed to have been illegally selling cigarettes. When New York police showed up to arrest him, he allegedly resisted arrest, causing one of the officers to put him in a chokehold. Chokeholds are banned from use by New York Police Department officers. This chokehold ultimately led to his death. The end. Michael Brown was another instance in which a police officer abused his power. Michael Brown was an unarmed 18-year-old shot by an officer. The officer claimed that Brown refused to move out of the middle of the room and therefore shot him. Pathologists say Brown had his hands over his head when he was shot, which is the position of arrest. What really happened here? If you haven't Twitter, you've probably heard of Sandra Bland, the 28-year-old black woman arrested in Texas for a traffic violation. Just one day after her arrest, she was found hanging in her cell for what officers report to be a suicide. Investigators and Twitter people claim that it was actually a homicide, and a video shows Trooper Brian Enchina, the officer who arrested her, unjustly arresting her and provoking rage. Similar to that of Sandra Bland, Samuel Dubois was an unarmed black man shot at a traffic stop. He was arrested by Officer Ray Tensing for missing his front plate. Allegedly, there were some disputes and Ray Tensing shot him. He was arrested on charges of murder and voluntary manslaughter and found guilty. As repeatedly stated, police brutality is a huge problem in our society today. According to copcrisis.com, every 8 hours an American citizen is killed by an officer. This leaves us with one question. What can you do to stop police brutality? Peaceful public movements such as marches and rallies and stuff like that are actually a really effective method of dealing with police brutality. Every time someone's murdered, there's often a march, a memorial, or something of that matter. Help bring awareness to this problem and force police officers to wear body cameras on their uniforms that must be on at all times.